Oh my goodness, I'm not sure where to start. So let's start from the very beginning. It all started at the middle of last summer. We decided that we were going to paint our deck. Now, as you know, the deck was in awful shape. It was deteriorating very quickly. And it's about a $38,000 deck. So it would cost $30,000 or more right now if wanted to rebuild it. It's a huge wraparound deck. Well, we went to Lowe's, and this was in, I'm thinking, July of last year. And, well, then we decided to do the plumbing. And then we decided to put the wood stove in. And then we decided to do all kinds of things. And somehow it just got too late in the season. The leaves were falling off the tree, and we were afraid that it would make too much of a mess. But we did do a few things. So we're going to Lowe's and we're getting the paint. Now, we decided on a very old-fashioned paint called Frontier Road. Frontier Road is a beautiful paint, but first we had to replace some steps because they were rotted out. So the first thing we had to do was get all the steps, get some of the paint, and get working on the rotted parts. So last year, my husband put up some of the steps that were rotting. So let's take a look at these steps. Now, my husband looks a little different on that photo than what he does now because, remember, this was last year. All right, so he's going and replacing the steps. And now let me show you the awful shape of our deck, which I know you've been seeing in videos. This is probably one of the biggest transformations you will ever see because it was such a drastic change. Thankfully, the deck was still usable, but another couple years the deck would have been totally rotted. So we are very thankful that we decided to do this now. All right, well, there is the deck. And so you can see the before and what it looks like. Now, we used Frontier Road in the porch, and that's been a couple years, and it has stayed so nice. This is very expensive paint, so this was costly to do. But if we would have paid someone to do it, it would have cost thousands more. I'm trying to have all of my video in order, but it's a little bit of a chaotic scene because there just was so much we had to do to get this deck ready. So let's move on and let me show you the other parts of the deck. You never realize how bad something is until you make it new again. So this is our daughter, and she is going to be doing the painting all along the edge. Now, I am going to show you him painting the side as well, but I wanted to show you a little bit of the before I can show you more of the after, if that makes any sense to you. Backing up just a little bit, this is me taking everything off the side of the deck. So what we did is we painted the deck in sections. So as you can see, it was a very time-consuming thing. So everything had to come out of here because we had to move it. We had to move everything over. So you can see this is 5 days of work. So as the one side gets painted and dried for a day, then we put it on the painted part, and vice versa. It was a job none of us were looking forward to, but with our daughter's help, it made such a big difference. And yes, this is fast speed. I almost had to do it fast speed for a video like this because it was just so much work. And I would sweep off the deck before he got ready to paint it. And that was a job in itself because there was so much of the pollen coming off the trees. All right, so now you can see the sides. See the difference? And that is the before, of course. And then we will show you the after. So what we are doing is every inch of our property now we have restored. There will be some very drastic property changes coming up, something we weren't counting on, but nature had a different idea for us. So that will be in future videos, but let's just take one day at a time. The Frontier Road is a really good thick paint, and it's made for outdoors, and so it went on very nice and smoothly. But let me tell you what, it was dry wood. That wood soaked up all of that paint. It was so happy to have the paint. My husband painted for many years with his brothers, so that was a profession that he actually had. So it's been years since he worked in painting, but he painted homes and he did a lot of painting. All right, let's keep working. We were very thankful when we started the painting project. We had some really nice days. We had enough of nice days that we could work consecutively each day. That made the job go so much smoother. In a couple years, we will have to repaint it, I am sure, but this paint holds extremely well to wood because remember, we've used this for our porch overhang, and it's been years and it never peeled, never cracked, and it looks brand new even today. So we know exactly how this paint works, and this paint is absolutely amazing. It's Valspar, and it is Frontier Road. So this would be like a 1888, 1900s type of paint. It was made for the old days. So it's an old-fashioned paint color is what I'm trying to say. Well, now you're seeing that it's getting painted, and so let's go ahead and let's see what it looks like. This may be a little more of a drawn-out video simply because I want you just to take it all in. It's a lot to look at one time, and I know a lot of people say I rush my videos when it comes to something like this. All right, it's all painted, it's dry, and now back to work. So we have to put everything back and we want to really be careful that we didn't scuff the paint at all. So it's a little bit of a tedious job. Now, I do not have much on my deck anymore, so my home is very simplified. That was something I wanted to do. I wanted to have it simple and keep it nice and clean and very old-fashioned looking, and that's what we did. Over here. So. You want them bushes just to stay there and let the... there. Okay. I'll let you do that. Holy crap, that thing was heavy, Ken.
I didn't mind it.
Okay, well, that's great. Happy for you. Take these. I don't want to be in this. That was the heaviest thing I've ever made. So what I decided to use was a coverlet that was on my sofa for many years. And I decided to change things up in my house a little, and I'm using it for a tablecloth. And I just absolutely love it. And I'll show you everything decorated when I'm done. So I didn't buy new things. I just had things that I had around the house and just decided to totally redecorate. So what I have on the deck is just our solar panels on the one side, the greenhouse, and I have this table and 2 chairs, and I have a little table and a chair. Oh, and a little planter. Oh, and I guess I do have that swing on the other side, but I don't have a whole bunch of planters on the deck anymore. All of the plants that I have, they're in the greenhouse. I'm not having a whole bunch of pots sitting on my deck because I don't want to ruin it, and I want to keep it preserved as best I can. These little bunnies came from Temu, and they were given to me by the company, and I will be talking about that in a future video. But I was really thankful that I was able to get these 2 little bunnies for free because I've always wanted bunnies like that, but they're so expensive. All right, so now what I wanted to show you was the side of the deck, and this is the side which he actually did first, but I kind of have the videos in a little bit, not quite as much sequence, but still you get the idea. I'll show you everything at the end, but you can see how bad the lattice was, and you can see how bad the railing was. It was a big job for him. My husband did 98% of the work himself. Our daughter did come and did a little bit of the edging with the paintbrush, but basically all that painting he did himself. And he is a perfectionist. I don't paint. You don't want me to paint because I'm very sloppy and messy. I am not a good painter. My mom always loved to paint, and she would never get me to paint because I am not good at it. And now you're going to see the deck. So we bought this little battery paint sprayer, and it did the job, but it was awful. It didn't do very well, but it did the job. It was better than doing it by hand, but it took a long time for him to do this. And it worked fairly good, but just wasn't made for a project like this, that's for sure. But we bought it, and we used it, and we used it as good as we possibly could. And of course, I'll show you the after in just a moment. Well, my friends, that project is finished. And we thought that was the end of the big projects for the year 2025. We thought we had pretty much everything done until nature had another decision, and we had to do another major project that will make our place look totally different. That will be coming up because it hasn't happened quite yet as I speak, but it will be happening in the next day or two. So by the time you see that, it will be the following week. But there you go, everyone, is the deck. It's finished, it's done, it's completed, and we couldn't be happier. And so everything is simplified, as you can see.
These tulips are all different colors.